Hey guys, what's going on? Rhett here. Want to talk to you about something that is extremely important for real estate investors and something that people don't do nearly as good of a job on as they should. And what is that? Well, it's keeping records, keeping track of absolutely everything that goes on under your roof of real estate ownership. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that in particular? Well, I'll tell you. You need to make sure that the most important documents that you're given are kept. Okay. I don't care if you keep them in a file cabinet. I don't care if you keep them in a folder under your bed. I don't care if you keep them in a safe. I don't care if you keep them on the computer in a desktop folder. That's all they need to be. Okay. But you need to keep everything that you receive from everybody. Okay. Now, what do I mean in particular? I mean lease agreements. I mean contracts. Whatever you sign with your real estate agent, you need to keep. I want you to keep background checks on tenants that you have. You should keep HAP agreements, housing assistance packages. You need packets. You need to keep everything, okay? Everything. If you're Section 8, I want you to keep everything that the housing authority sends you and that the Section 8 tenant submits. If you are renting to cash tenants, I want you to keep everything that the cash tenant sends you. Put it all in a folder. Label it under that address and that tenant, okay? If they send you W-2s, if you guys who rent to cash tenants, I know I do for some high luxury stuff, if you ask for W-2s and tax returns, keep that stuff. Obviously, hopefully, it's redacted. You don't want to keep anybody's information that's sensitive. But keep all of your information that you receive for your units, okay? It's extremely important. The more information that you have on a daily basis, guys, you need to store it. You need to make sure that you can access it if you need it. If you have a management company, you need to make sure that all management agreements are kept, guys. Deeds for the property. If you have a closing and the title company sends you a deed online and they send you everything, keep it, okay? You guys should know all the utility companies that you have that serve your properties. You should have all that stuff. Everything, okay? You are going to find that over time, you will need these things over and over and over again, okay? There are certain utility companies that will not turn things into your name. They will not turn services on if you cannot provide that you are the legal owner of the unit. Over and over again, if you are trying to refinance properties, you need a ton of stuff. You're going to need all your insurance documents. Make sure you keep those. You're going to need to show the bank that the property's insured. You're going to need to show that there's a current lease in place. You're going to need to show that you're the owner of the property. Obviously, they're going to pull the title, but it can make it easier if you send them over a copy of the warranty deed. There are just going to be so many things that you need to show to prove that you're the property owner and to show that, first of all, you keep good records, because who's going to want to loan you any money on a refinance or in the first place if you don't keep good records, okay? When you send things over to lenders, or if you're selling the property and you send things over to a prospective buyer, all this stuff should be organized. I know, guys, that when I buy portfolios or I buy cash flowing rental property, if I get a packet, right? So when I buy stuff like this, I like to get, usually the listing agent or the seller will send me over a folder, okay? In that folder, it'll have a rent roll. It'll have a list of deferred maintenance that has been corrected over the last half decade. There will be all the lease agreements. There will be the tenants' names, what their background looks like, so that I know that coming in, I don't have to rescreen them. I do anyway, but still. All their management agreements from the management company that's currently with them, the deed showing that it's their property, the meets and bounds, guys, of their property lines. I want to see everything, the pro formas of how the rental property or portfolio has performed, the P&L, the profit and loss. So I know exactly what the cost is for these units every single year, what the utilities cost, what the taxes are, what the insurance are for that unit every single year. And then, okay, how has this money been coming in? Is it consistent? Is it not consistent? Is it consistent? Is it not consistent? So It's super important, guys, to keep track of all this stuff. Now, I have a PDF that I use that's on my website that I have listed. You guys can go check it out. But it's just an easy way for you to keep track of everything. That's what I use all the time, and I just keep adding properties to it, adding properties to it, adding properties to it. But it's just a way to keep track. And my point is, you need to understand what documents to hang on to. And that is a lot of them, okay? So make a folder on your computer if you don't already, and put everything that is important to that singular property inside of that folder, because it's going to come up over and over and over again that you need this stuff, okay? Any invoices that you have done at the property, throw those in the folder. Whatever it is, keep track of every document that you receive for that property. All right. It's always nice if somebody calls you and says, hey, I need this right now. You go, okay. You pull it right up and boom, you have it. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy. So I want to make sure, guys, that you are keeping track of everything. What I don't want is if you're about to sell a property and the realtor calls you and you go to list your portfolio or you go to list your rental property and they go, hey, the seller wants the management agreement that's in place, or the seller wants the rent roll, and you go, oh, well, I don't have one of those, or the management agreement, I don't have that. Where is that? Okay. Now, I used to do this, so don't give me this as an excuse. A lot of stuff right now is signed on DocuSign, okay, where they send you a DocuSign, and you guys all know it, and you sign it quick, or sign now, right? There's a bunch of different apps that you can use. You sign it, and it goes, yeah, here, we're saving it, and it sends you an email, okay? You need to save it, because eventually you're going to get denied access to that email. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But if you do know what I'm talking about, when you sign an agreement or a contract on DocuSign or Sign Now, you get an email. And in that email, it comes with an attachment. You can hit it and open it up and see the contract that you just signed. Those expire, okay? So go back onto those right now. If you have them, open them up and save them as a PDF so you have them forever. Okay, guys? This is valuable, valuable information. Now, another really important thing to do is to make sure that you have all this information in case you are in a legal issue, okay? If we're in a legal battle with a management company, right? You're not going to ask the management company for, hey, can I have a copy of the management contract that I signed with you? Thanks. Hope you have a great day. No way. You already have it. Okay, we want to make sure that we already have things. We're organized. We have things. We understand where we're at. We know which tenants are in which units. And if we have a question, we pull it up on our own. We're not emailing 5 people trying to ask questions. Hey, do you know this answer? Do you know this? Do you know this? Do you know this? No, we know it because that's our job, right? It's our job to know our properties. It's our job to know what we signed. That's why it's so important to keep absolutely everything. You need to keep it. You need to keep it. You need to stay organized. You need to know what's going on, okay? If you want to reference something, you pull it up. You guys are getting the hint, okay? Be organized. I don't care if you're old school and you want to print everything out and keep it in a file cabinet. I personally like looking at things. Now, I don't have a file cabinet because it'd be the size of the room, but I use computers. I use cloud storage. I use hard storage, papers if I need them, right? Whatever it is, guys, you need to make sure that you have it in a place that's easily accessible to you, that's organized, and that if you need it, you can get it when you need it, okay? That's all I have, guys. Leave your questions and comments below. I'll see you next time.